as if this hasn't been a sermon enough, let me close with a specific sermon. I was brought up a Southern Baptist, so it's just hard. That was who said who actually groaned. Are you a fellow sufferer, or are you biased against Southern Baptists? What's that? Yeah, well, it has its virtues. None occur to me at the moment, but no, I have a lot of fond memories of church. They're distant memories, but they're fond. So the sermon is what I say in the book that I actually think there's one thing the prophets of all the Abrahamic tradition said that was actually, in a sense, right, that holds up today as a fundamental truth about the world. You could characterize what prophets in all three Abrahamic traditions were saying is salvation is possible so long as you align yourself with the moral axis of the universe. Now, they meant different things by salvation. It was much more about individual salvation in Christianity and Islam. The term in the Hebrew Bible is more often used to talk about preserving the peace and order of the society, the cohesion and integrity of the social system. B, they didn't use the phrase moral axis of the universe, right? They used the phrase God. But to them, that was the moral axis of the universe. And I think if you take the Hebrew Bible interpretation of the word salvation, that is, it's about saving the social system, and this abstract version of, you state it as the moral axis of the universe in non-theistic language, I think there's really some truth, because if you look at what I'm saying needs to happen here, it is that people have to adapt to non-zero-sum dynamics that actually exist, okay, and that will involve being more tolerant toward people, and I think it will involve more than that ideally. I have a chapter on what I call the moral imagination. That's a term that different people have used differently. What I mean by moral imagination is the ability to put yourself in the shoes of people very different from yourself, different culture, different religion, or whatever, and appreciate what their perspective looks like, and attribute real moral value to them, to that perspective. Okay, and I think salvation will most readily come, in this sense of the term, if people expand their moral imaginations more broadly, if people everywhere get better at seeing the perspective of people different from them. And in a way, religions have done this repeatedly. Again, all three religions, and these phases that are kind of analogous to globalization are particularly inspiring examples where they got better at seeing the perspective of and acknowledging the humanity of people of different nationalities, sometimes even different religions. So I think salvation may depend on the further expansion of the moral imagination, and I think that would actually be movement toward moral truth. I think the truth of the matter is, as hard as this is for all of us to accept, that none of us is actually special. We're designed to focus on our own well-being and attribute more significance to our own lives than those of others, but that's just what natural selection engineered into us so that we'd get genes into the next generation. It's not the truth. The objective truth is that we're not special.